Hello everyone, this is Vijay Bhaskar from Hyderabad, India. Today I would like to share some information on coronavirus pandemic, the facts, the ground reality, and I want to reveal what went wrong with India and few other countries in terms of the current spike in total number of confirmed cases, as we are seeing every day thousands and thousands of cases added to our overall toll. Before I start, I would like to have a short disclaimer. I'm an independent consultant working for an upcoming startup, MindMap Network, and I'm full-time social worker, founder of a true non-profit organization, We Change You. The information I'm sharing today here is based on evidences and from credible sources. I have no political alignment with any political party, and if anyone finds any of this information what I'm presenting here today is baseless, false, please do provide me the details and I'll be happy to remove this video permanently. Thank you. As you all know that globally we have around 35 lakh plus confirmed cases with over 2,48,000 plus deaths reported globally, and in India we have around 42,000 plus confirmed cases with 30,000 active cases and over 1,300 plus deaths reported from several states across the country. So I was analyzing this data from past few days, and I would like to put forward 4 views which I found that the 4-point information I want to give you all in terms of global perspective before I share the facts and ground reality what happened with India in terms of the current surge we are finding. So the first thing what I observed was the first point is none of the countries in the world can claim that they have strong immune system among their citizens. Even the countries with the highest life expectancy cannot claim that they have the best immune system among their citizens. That's the biggest thing, because that's where we are seeing the highest mortality rate among the countries that have low immune system among their citizens. That's where we see today even like the countries that have highest death rate, that is because of pre-existing ailments. It is like comorbid conditions is one area where people are dying because of this pandemic. It's not that coronavirus itself killing them. It's like pre-existing comorbid conditions like diabetes, blood pressure, their cancers, it could be their respiratory issues and plenty of other pre-existing ailments that is making them to have a fatality rate. That is, the death rate is increasing because of pre-existing ailments. Coronavirus is just an incidental and it's making them to have early grave. So if they had strong, there is a possibility of survival rates are more, and we've seen there is more than a million people got already recovered. So it's like people who are dying, that is because of their pre-existing ailments. And that's the reason where we are finding that we need to make the communities stronger so that we'll have less fatality rate even when such kind of pandemics occur. And the countries that have made them, the citizens, to become more addicted to junk food, having less physical activity, not mentally strong, and they are making the citizens to have a wrong lifestyle habits, and overall lifestyle diseases are coming into picture. That's where this kind of high death rate is seen in those countries that have weak section of the society in terms of weak immune system. So we need to have further roadmap where we need to see that if the citizens are strong enough, we will not to have this kind of panic times what we are facing today. And this will continue. The countries which will have highest death rate is because of this continuous low immune system. That's where we need to see that even further, even in India or any other country, we'll have more and more death rates because of pre-existing ailments. Second thing what I observed is none of the countries in the world can claim that they have the best healthcare system in place. Even we are talking about too many advancements in healthcare, and we talk about robotic surgeries, we are talking about high level of technology used in pharma, drug production and all that. Today we are not finding any solution for prevention, control and even on treatment level. Even today we are experimenting on treating the COVID-19 patients with saying, like one leader says that hydroxychloroquine is the best antimalarial drug what is available, is going to treat COVID-19 patients, and after a week or 2 weeks they find that several studies link that mortality rate is increasing because of this drug. They'll stop that and they'll experiment with plasma therapy, they experiment with any other alternatives. Even today we are not prepared to even treat our patients after even middle of the pandemic. We are still finding solutions to treat, solutions to prevent, control. So there is lack of healthcare system capabilities are not fully used. That's where not even fully experimented at this point of time, so where we cannot claim that no country, even countries that have highest economically strong countries, they are finding difficult times at this time of pandemic. And the third thing what I observed is the leaders of the country, some leaders of the countries are involved in blame game. They are engaged in blame game at this point of time, where they say that the virus is from China, so it is from China virus, Wuhan virus. They say that virus is prepared in a lab and released, and so on. So these are the incapable leaders. I can call them as incapable leaders. They are involved in blame game rather than finding solutions for prevention, control, and treating their patients at this time of pandemic. So these incapable leaders always engage in blame game as an excuse for their incapabilities. So even that's around 10% of the leaders are there in the globe, and where they are involved. Otherwise 90% of the communities in the country and countries in the country are finding best solutions to contain the virus in their countries. But some leaders, and sorry to say that even in India we have such incapable leaders who are engaged in blame game. When one section of the society had some cases of virus, and the entire communal color was added to that community because of one event happened in capital of India, Delhi, and the entire case has been linked across the state, and all the media, prime time news was covering only the cases that are linked to this. So that because of wrongly quoted by some incapable leaders, that they are not able to control this virus because of the spike is happening because of the event that has happened in some part of the country. So that's where that incapability is one thing which is leading, because this is the time where we need to unite together and find a solution, and we need to end the game of coronavirus at the earliest rather than blame game involvement. And the fourth thing is, as last 10 years or 20 years, if you observe, we are too much of looking at as technological advancements. We are looking at as every day talking about new technology. We are talking about smartphones, smart watches, smart more television, smart cities, smart countries. So in terms of this artificial intelligence, we're talking about machine learning, we are talking about blockchain, we are talking about Internet of Things, we are talking about fifth generation of mobile communications, we are talking about all artificial intelligence and artificial living. But people are becoming dumb at the end of the day. It is like people are becoming dumb and the devices are becoming smart. That's where we are not finding solutions for such kind of panic, pandemic, and crisis outbreak times. So we need to become intelligent, not the devices. We need to believe that human intelligence is the thing that can play a big role, not artificial intelligence. We are too much aligned to have a artificial living. We are too much dependent on machine learning. We need to believe in human intelligence. We need to have a natural living. We need to not to live in artificial intelligence. We need to not to have artificial living. We need to have sustainable living as way of life to battle such kind of outbreaks. So that's where my point is, we need to have too much of human intelligence in place, not artificial intelligence. I'm very much I'm very much favor of technology, because I lived in technology for 20 years of my work life. I was an IT manager, troubleshooting systems, network, servers, and disaster recovery for our data. And I know that technology can play a big role, but not at the cost of leaving behind our intelligence. So now I am implementing the same solutions on troubleshooting humans, and that's where I want to bring this point that we need to believe in human intelligence, not in artificial intelligence. And as I said, I want to share the facts and ground reality, what went wrong within India in terms of finding the current surge. Friends, if you remember, on January 30, India had first confirmed case of coronavirus. When a student from Wuhan traveled to his hometown in Kerala, he is the first infected patient of coronavirus in India. Since then, we have seen some cases being added into our overall toll. So on January 30 itself, World Health Organization has declared public health emergency of international concern. That's the highest level of global emergency when WHO declares, saying that there is a possibility of outbreak, there is a possibility of bigger infections in every corner of the world. So they gave this emergency warning on January 30. And on January 30, when we had that warning, we were not early in terms of acting to that warning, because the country was busy in doing the typical business of political activities in terms of at the time of January 30, and then thereafter in the entire month of February, we had a golden opportunity to contain this virus, keeping our numbers at very low pace. But as I said, some incapable leaders couldn't able to find the solutions at that time. That the country has to prepare at that time. The healthcare workers has to be prepared. The equipment of personal protection equipments and the testing kits in terms of keeping the hospital beds ready for the isolation, and in terms of preparing for outbreak, we were not at all prepared. We were prepared to have Citizens Amendment Act, we are prepared for Citizens Amendment Bill, fighting for violences that has happened in Delhi, and lost several lives has been lost during that time. We are busy in these activities, but we completely out focused in terms of we are not at all interested in doing emergency activities at that point of time, and we claim that we are too early in terms of containing the virus even today. That's the biggest blunder we are still done, as we had golden opportunity of entire month of February to prepare ourselves, but we lost that opportunity in terms of at early stage containment. And if you all remember, on February 11th, not on February 11th, February 24th, right? February 24th, we were doing a program in middle of the emergency in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, with 1 lakh packed house of stadium, where we were doing a program called Namaste Trump. For welcoming United States of America President Donald Trump for a return gift kind of activity, political exchange, what was done in Howdy Modi program in September 2019 in US. They want to do a program in India in middle of the emergency. And at that time, India had only 3 cases of coronavirus, whereas America had only 53 cases of confirmed cases of coronavirus and 0 deaths. During that middle of the emergency, both the leaders are engaged in doing such a packed program of 1 lakh plus people and thousands of people on the streets to welcome the President of America. So that was completely avoidable and was not at all necessary during the middle of the emergency. By then, on the February 24th, the virus has already traveled over 30 plus countries globally, and there was so much vulnerability that we could have closed our doors to the international community, but we just said we are too early in closing the borders to China. But there are already, the virus has been traveled to several countries, but we did program in middle of the emergency. That is also one biggest triggering area where we missed in terms of opportunity of seizing this virus. Beyond this February 24th event, on March 11th, India had only 73 confirmed cases with 0 deaths. World Health Organization has declared coronavirus disease as pandemic, COVID-19 as pandemic, because by then the virus has reached 117 countries across the globe with 40,000 cases outside China. Even though China by then had over 80,000 plus confirmed cases with thousands of deaths, outside China 117 countries got this virus infection spread by then. Even on March 11th, we didn't act serious. Even when pandemic was declared, we didn't close our doors to rest of the world. Only just said we are too early in closing the borders to China, but by then the virus is already there in other countries. We didn't close our doors. Even third week of March, our doors were open, where the entire flood of virus was already entered into India in the form of people traveling from UK, US, Middle East, Europe, and several other countries. People were keep on traveling till third week of when lockdown was announced. Just a day before also, we had international flights coming in with so much of virus already spreading to the country, and the floodgates were open all these many days. When there is an opportunity to seize early, we miss that opportunity. That's why I call it is too late in reacting to this virus. That shows the incapabilities of some leaders to judge, and because we know that previous pandemics was there, very much clear data was there. When we had opportunity to seize this virus at early, we failed in doing that at early stage. And when it comes to the testing, like as I said, in India was too late in reacting to the World Health Organization's warning, when WHO said clearly that testing, isolation. That is the only formula available to prevent, control at that point of time. Even in early February itself, they released this formula called testing. India ignored totally that kind of thing, and they say that we will do things on our own. That shows how aggressive we are in terms of not reacting to the health agencies, highest credible health agency when they said, and that's how we missed that golden time frame of containing this virus. And even on 16th April, when lockdown 1.0 was ended, the ICMR doctor, one of the ICMR doctor, in a regular press release, press bulletins, what they do from health ministry, they said India is the best. We are doing the best in the world in terms of doing testing. Friends, on 16th April, when I analyzed data, even it is very much available in any credible source, you can find that on 16th April, India stands at 143rd position out of 185 countries in terms of testing rate. We are 143rd position at when lockdown 1.0 was ended on 16th April, we were at 143rd position, and the ICMR official representative who talked in the press said India is doing the highest testing rates in terms of overall global average. I don't understand that how can India is at 143rd position on 16th April, but these people say that we are doing the best in the world. What they did is at that point of time when India had less confirmed cases, closely around 15,000-16,000 cases, and they did is the total number of confirmed tests they did, overall total tests across the country divided by the number of confirmed cases, they arrived a number called 24, I think. Yeah, it was 24. They arrived that we do 24 tests for finding one positive case. And they gave an example that US had 5 number as a 5 confirmed, like they do 5 tests for having one confirmed positive case. And similarly, they told UK is doing 3.4. That is like they do 3.5 tests for finding one positive case. And they gave an example of Japan where they are doing 11.7. They said that even Japan is doing only 11.7, whereas India is doing 24 tests for finding one positive case. That is completely irresponsible and recklessness of reporting, because at the same time when you are not calculating population as a whole, because India is second largest population, you cannot calculate your total number of tests done by your confirmed cases. It's the thing, like if the same time, even if their calculation, there are several countries who has done a 10 times bigger test, even not considering their population, they have done more tests. Like if I say if they are saying we are better in the world, there were by then the countries like Russia has tested for finding one positive case, they did 56 tests for finding one positive case. Even they are not in top 2 or top 3, they did 56 tests for finding one positive case. Even if I say Australia has done 76 tests for finding one positive case, whereas UAE has done 97 tests for finding one positive case in their own formula. So you didn't reveal these countries, and there are several other countries like South Korea and Sweden and several other countries like Israel. They have done wonderfully containing this virus in the form of doing more and more tests, and that's where their number of confirmed cases has now come down, and even total new cases they are adding to the overall toll is less, and mortality rate is also very low. Even they had 20,000 plus cases, they had less than 100 deaths. That's how some countries are doing really great. When it comes to in India itself, when they said 24 tests per finding one positive, that was completely baseless, because even if you do as overall states, if we say that even it varies from state to state. If I say Odisha has done 212 tests for finding one positive case. 212 tests, that is where 212 tests for finding one positive case. You cannot quote 24 as the average for the country, because some states, like even if you consider Maharashtra even having the highest number of cases, even at that point of time, has done only 11 tests for finding one positive case. That means there is huge variation. When Odisha can do 212 tests and your state of highly infected state is doing only 11 tests, you cannot calculate 24 as your own average as doing that best in the world. And even some states like Bihar has done 52 tests per 1 week. This is the same time when you said we are doing 24 tests per finding one positive case. Even Tamil Nadu has relatively done good tests, like 48, that is the double than country's average, and even Andhra Pradesh has took over that, and they have done 72 tests per finding one positive case, because of earlier they were not doing tests, and everybody started comparing India as average. They said that country is doing average this test, so we are doing better than country's average. When a country is not even doing anything far better, they are taking you as an example. That is the biggest blunder we have done in terms of not doing enough tests at that point of time. Even on today, we are starting lockdown 3.0 today as a 4th May. We are at 140th position, 140th position out of 185 countries in terms of having our testing rates per 1 million population. That shows that how serious we are in terms of doing this kind of containing the virus at early stage. And we are too late in now in doing completely the managing the things properly, because the more damage is going to happen now further, because this is the time where we need to contain. We have left things to go on in just by locking down. And the lockdown also, if you remember friends, it was announced in such a way that on 4 hours notice, we all put 130 crore population has been pushed into a lockdown mode with 4 hours notice. And 4 hours notice at the time when 8 p.m. when it was press release was happened by Narendra Modi has done addressing the nation on 24th March, he has given 4 hours time for entire 130 crore population to settle down for lockdown of 21 days. That was so pathetic situation. You separated several families from uniting because even you separated a mother from son, you separated a daughter from a mother, and you separated a families reuniting during this 21 days lockdown. They are all been stuck in some part of the country, and you made 4 hours notice and announced 21-day lockdown at the time when India had only less than 500 cases and only 9 deaths. So there was no such kind of emergency at that point of time. If you have to give some time for the people to settle down so that 21 days they could have better life, quality of life and hygiene life. You made people to sleep under the flyovers for 21 days, and after that extended the lockdown, and you made their lives much more horrible. Tomorrow the lockdown deaths are going to be more than the coronavirus deaths if we have these people suffering because of what they had gone through these 21 days or 30-40 days, what their life has been. Their death rates will be more than what coronavirus deaths. So that is the biggest mistake India has done in terms of not giving notice to 3 to 4 days of time to people to settle down. Even in fact, as a ruler of the country, as a leader of the country, you should be knowing that around 45 lakhs migrant laborers are there in India as per the government records itself. 45 lakh people have struck in some states and they couldn't able to make out to their hometowns without any preparation, the work, there is no work, there is no livelihood support to make their food and bed arrangements. You made them to completely stuck and walk millions of kilometers on roads in the hot summer. And that was the biggest blunder the country has done during the lockdown. Even the countries like Singapore gave 4 days notice when community transmission was there in the country. When they found community transmission in their country, even then they gave 4 days time with a small population, less than 1 crore. They could able to give 4 days notice for the people to settle down in the times of community transmission. Even today, India doesn't accept that we have a community transmission. I don't see any reason why India is hiding that. We know that community transmission is there in India from 3rd week of 4th week of March. There are plenty of cases where we have seen even some district collectors has been told that there is a community transmission. They are not able to trace the 50 plus people's confirmed cases were not traced in any manner. There is no direct contact with any travel history people, or there is no local transmission. They know that there is no evidences of any transmission like infection effects. They all said very clearly that community transmission traces are seen very visibly even in Mumbai, even in several parts of the country. I don't see why India is hiding in terms of not declaring community transmission. That could have helped people to be a little more cautious in terms of their behaviors, their approach towards this seriousness of pandemic. So that is one thing which India still, I don't know why it's hiding. Even on 24th April, that is the time in almost last week of April and even almost last week of lockdown 2.0, we didn't see that even there were enough tests done. Even Prime Minister itself has tweeted that 5 lakh confirmed 5 lakh test has been done as per for the whole country of 130 crore population. We have done 5 lakh tests even on the day of 24th April. That is just on the last week of during the lockdown 2.0 is ending. And I don't understand a few things like even today we are not prepared, even serious enough in terms of when I say healthcare system. Even on UP there was one classic example that how much we are serious in terms of there were close to 69 coronavirus positive cases were waiting on road, on the footpath in front of a government hospital in Etawah district in Uttar Pradesh. They have been transferred from a district in close to Agra to Etawah district for providing them the isolation beds in confirmed cases, and these people are standing outside gates of government hospital, medical college and government hospital in Etawah district, outside gates, and there is a possibility that they can speed, they can escape, they can do lot of spreading at that time, but it was like completely ignorance of seriousness of how serious even we are today. Even this incident has happened on close to the time when this was incident took place on April 23rd. April 23rd, these incidents took place in Uttar Pradesh, and we know some incapable leaders in the same state claim that the virus is from Tablighi Jamaat event that has happened in Delhi. So these kind of incapability shows that their excuses, their way of not even having say. And when the government hospital officials been contacted that why these people are lying on roads, footpaths for more than an hour or nearly hour, they said lack of communication. We are talking about digital India, we are talking about too much of technology advancements in India. We know the cheapest voice and data is available in India across the globe. We have the cheapest tariffs of voice and data. We are saying lack of communication. Lack of communication, because of that, all these 69 confirmed coronavirus patients were sitting on footpaths, on the roads, and 1 hour kind of time frame is enough for the people to spread virus at massive scale. And as I said earlier, even some underreported cases were there. In India, there are plenty of underreported deaths, underreported confirmed cases, because they just left because of not able to handling enough resources. Less resources of testing, less resources of personal protection equipment, less resources of having healthcare workers in place. And we have seen one classic example of when interministerial central teams, IMCTs, when formed by Ministry of Home Affairs to audit some states where they are thinking that some cases are underreported. In West Bengal, there were around close to 57 deaths were there officially from coronavirus, but in the chart of what Ministry of Health and Family Welfare releases every single day on 24 hours basis or 12 hours basis, their chart was showing only 18 deaths as a confirmed coronavirus deaths. When asked, when the IMCT's team went and audited, they had 57 cases directly linked to coronavirus deaths. But when the chief secretary, I think the chief secretary of West Bengal has said that these deaths are not directly to coronavirus, but they are comorbid conditions, and coronavirus is incidental. That is what happening across the globe. Coronavirus is not directly killing the people. It's like pre-existing ailments also making a little bit more vulnerable for them to die early. But coronavirus is one thing incidental, but that incident has to be reported as coronavirus death. And that close to 39 plus deaths were underreported from West Bengal, even in on official audit of Indian ministerial teams when they went, the interministerial central teams visited West Bengal. Even as I said earlier, there are plenty of confirmed cases by several other states. Some states may be underreporting, and this auditing has to be done with very serious stage, and things has to be in terms of be more serious now, because as I said, even today India has close to 42,000, and soon we will be making it to top 3 or 4 position in the world. All these days we are saying that we are better than major countries. Every time Prime Minister Narendra Modi says that we are better than, far better than major countries. Friends, today we are on 6th position in the global map of total number of new cases. We are in the 6th position in the world in terms of adding total number of new cases. That shows that how serious the situation in India is. And we are in 15th position in total confirmed cases. We are 13th position in total confirmed active cases. We are in 10th position in total tests we are doing, in top, if you say in the top of the chart. So that means we are not, we are in top 20, we are in the 19th position in terms of total deaths. That means we are not very far from others. We are reaching very fast in terms of becoming a vulnerable country in terms of having the highest number of cases. We are going to have highest number of deaths soon, and we are going to have highest number of vulnerability in terms of having this infection spreading in a bigger way. So I urge the government that act now, at least apply that formula of testing, testing, testing. We need to do at least 3 to 4 lakh tests per day, not that 20, 30,000 or 50,000. Only last 1 week, India has done double the tests. So India has done only double-digit tests only from last 5 days. We lost the entire lockdown 1.0, 2.0 time frame in doing only containing, isolating, but we are not doing the tests, so that the virus is already out there in the community and it's been spreading in big numbers. That's why we are seeing the surge of cases from last 20, 30, 40 days, because even lockdown being implemented, we are supposed to bring down the numbers down. We are not bringing, because the virus was already there in India, and if you acted early, there could have been no Tablighi Jamaat event, no Nizamuddin congregation, what you are blaming all the time could have not happened if you have closed early, when you have listened to the WHO warning on January 30, global emergency, and then March 11th, both the dates you missed, and after that 2-3 weeks later you realize that we need to implement lockdown, and the lockdown was poorly implemented in India. I hope at least at this time, I don't want to blame any leader at this time, but your incapability should now cover up that mistakes what you have done earlier and bring truth to the people that you are going to manage things properly from now, and so that Indian community and even the world is going to be free of virus. Otherwise, if you are not doing, this virus is going to spread out and we are going to be in a bigger trouble. Thank you, and I will be making another video of what would be the possible reasons of this virus and what would be the best solutions we can offer to the world in terms of containing these pandemics, and how we can protect, future-proof ourselves and our communities, our nation and the world in terms of future pandemics.